Welcome everyone, Costin here with a discussion about the Greenskins in Omens of Destruction DLC patch 6.0 for Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires. There have been quite a few changes to the Greenskins as well. The WAS still works the same, so that is not really different, but there are changes to structures, changes to research, some changes to Skarsnik and Warzak, though I'll cover Legendary Lore changes in a separate video. For now, I want to talk about the race. There's quite a few things, and even a nerf, though potentially much needed. So it used to be that Greenskins could recruit a lot of units in a single turn from a settlement. That is still the case, but you no longer have local recruitment capacity being increased by minor settlements. You still have it being increased by major settlements, but only by one. So if you're looking to recruit like 6, 7, 8 units per turn with Greenskins, that is no longer available by default. It is available, however, if you get the boss's shack, which can go all the way up to 2 local recruitment capacity per 1, and at tier 5 can even give you global recruitment capacity lower than hero recruit rank beyond just the control. So it is still available, you just need an extra structure. Beyond that, they've also made the difference between orc recruitment and goblin recruitment. So the orc barracks, at least at tier 3, does take quite a few turns to build. Maybe that is not necessarily intentional, I'm not sure. It does take quite a significant amount of turns to build this to access Black Orcs. Maybe that is part of it. But now you do get Black Orc big bosses at tier 2, with the tier 3 one only giving you access to the Black Orcs, and Black Orcs with Grey weapons. So the Black Orcs with Grey weapons, previous Black Orcs, the shielded version, lose the armor piercing, but gain a silver shield, and also gain the immovable bulwark ability over there. And yeah, you get extra hero capacity for Black Orc big bosses. You can now get big guns at tier 2. So if you want to play just an orc playstyle, now you do have melee infantry ranged heroes available there. Or you can go on full goblin. Worth pointing out, for Skarsnik, he just doesn't have this building chain until he gets Carucade Peaks. So they've actually fixed the Skarsnik issue where Skarsnik really was screwed over in his campaign because he can only recruit orcs from one particular building. And Black Orcs and, Big Boss and all that, but orcs in general are important for like late game potential for melee infantry. Because yeah, Nasty Skulkers are great early on, not necessarily so good later on. And I think they may have nerfed them. I mean, they still get armor piercing and melee attack, but you gotta attack from the rear flank. I think that's a bit different. Also, you can no longer recruit goblin archers from a settlement building. You need the goblin building for goblin archers. So say goodbye to the goblin doomstacks. I feel like they got inspired, perhaps not necessarily in the best way, by SFO, because I think that's similar in SFO. Anyway, so you can only recruit goblins and squig herds from regular settlements. Everything else requires a structure. You also have access to Night Goblin Fanatics at tier 3, Black Orcs tier 3, Orc Boar Biggins and Orc Boar Chariots at tier 3, as well as every single hero being recruitable at tier 2 and increasing capacity at tier 3, with the notable exception of the new Night Goblin Big Boss, because there's no tier 3 building here, so you can only increase capacity at tier 4. Not exactly the greatest there, because yeah, that means you will get a limited number of these guys. They give campaign movement range. I'll talk about what they're giving over there in just a moment. So those are the changes with regards to structure. The new Goblin Bolt Throwers are a tier 2 unit from the Goblin Toolbox. You get scrap and research from that. So it's not research rate, it's just research rate. It's not a percent anymore, it's just research rate plus 3 over there to 5 to 10 for that one that you do get from it. In terms of income, quite a notable discussion over there. In terms of Greenskin income, the basic building now costs 900, unless I get, I think it's 1,000. I just have a benefit over here. So it is more expensive. You still go up to, so you get 250 to 375 to 500. It is more expensive. I think this one is 3,000 by default. And you can no longer build the Horde and the raiding hideout at the same time. You gotta choose which one you're gonna have in a settlement. So do you want to gain a ridiculous amount of sacking and looting income from settlements, or do you want to just get a good amount of income? You can't have both of them. I think like the Horde is better early on. The raiding stash is obviously long term, especially when you're dealing with higher level settlements. The Goblin Big Boss is now recruited from the Goblin building. Those are the changes that have been made in terms of Greenskin structure. So I think there's certainly some nerfs, some limitations at least. Pump the brakes a bit on the Greenskins. That said, more heroes, more unit variety. Greenskins basically have lost mass of units, I would say, but they've gained quality, significant quality in terms of like early game units. I mean, Nazca Skulkers were already great and all, but geez, like this is turn 24. Yes, I did take Zarnagrunt fairly early on, and yes, I've been using that to recruit a lot of these units. Still, dependent on how you play your cards, with regards to this, you can certainly recruit a bunch of armies fairly quickly in a Greenskin campaign. And you may not get Black Orcs and Stone Trolls as quickly as I did here, although I think you can get Stone Trolls in most campaigns. You just probably wouldn't get Black Orcs this quickly. Though, I don't necessarily think I recruited a lot of these from Zarnagrunt, because that took a while. I actually got them from the big fort over here. Yeah, Grimgor, Bane, Grimgor. Some more economic issues, so some limitations. You're not quite as ridiculous as before. Like, Greenskins were absurd. The amount of money, the amount of recruitment, like, they would outnumber the Skaven. That is a bit much, I think. So some limitations in regards to all of that. Beyond that, I would say one of the biggest changes is with regards to research. So all the scrap upgrades are here at the bottom, and they do affect multiple units. And beyond the fact that you can unlock these for a relatively low amount of scrap, what is substantial in regards to scrap is now you can stack upgrades. So you no longer choose one, you get multiple upgrades of scrap for units, and there's various technologies. Different technologies unlock different things. Like, you may have units that unlock, you know, all the scrap upgrades, but then you may have units that, like, may get one upgrade from one area, then another upgrade from another area. So, like, you know, you can see in certain cases that would, you know, you look at Night Goblins, or maybe not Night Goblins, actually. I'm not sure what unit I could give it. Like, there are certainly some units where that is absolutely the case with regards to those kind of upgrades on the Greenskins. I'm not sure. Oh, like, yeah, you can see like different Stone Troll upgrades over here that get unlocked for different pieces of research. Then in terms of research, so you have goblins and monsters at the top, like mainly ranged stuff over there. You got greenskin stuff at the bottom, but greenskin and chariot stuff, the cavalry stuff, trolls. So you got like wolves, range units, spiders at the top. But again, if you want to focus on a greenskin playstyle, an orc playstyle, I think that's a lot more viable right now than it was before. Because, like, yeah, you could get orc archers, but lack of melee units, like, making big guns and black orcs more available does help a lot. Various other changes, so growth, campaign movement, range move there. Lord and hero recruit rank. I'm not sure where the healing... I think they've removed the healing mushrooms, but that's because they've made the casualty replenishment hero... Oh, it's been moved over here, way over here. This gives you hero capacity for Giant River Troll Hag, so if you just want to get that... Yeah, you do need Grom's DLC to be able to access that. Beyond that... beyond these kind of changes with regards to research, with regards to recruitment, with regards to their economy, They've also made changes to the lords. They've also made changes to heroes. So let's talk about the new stuff. We get the Savage Orc Great Shaman, but the Savage Orc Great Shaman isn't just a Savage Orc leader. He's actually just an Orc leader in general. Because he's a Caster Lord army leader, but he has a skill choice. So you get this skill line that you can unlock all the stuff over here. So this is going to benefit Savage Orcs, right? But not just, just Savage Orcs in general, but not just, Savage Orcs. There's also some other useful things here. But then you get the choice between Paint the Boys, Paint the Boars, Paint Beasts. And this is really, really useful for one Wurzag's Savage Orc playstyle, because this is going to buff all Savage Orcs. So, like, if you, because one of the problems with Wurzag, he could lead an army of Savage Orcs effectively, but other lords couldn't. So you do have some extra benefits for Savage Orc with the Savage Orc Great Shaman, but you have Orc benefits overall. 10% physical resistance, 6 leadership is not irrelevant. Or you can focus on monsters, creatures if you want to do so. And then you have the Lore of Wa, if you will, for that. Then we have the Night Goblin Big Boss. So the Night Goblin Big Boss, he's got empowering shrooms, so melee attack, leadership, stops rampage, pretty important for squigs, vanguard deployment, and loner ability for squig herds, so no friendly units at range, speed, and leadership for those guys, including the colossal squig, frenzy for squig hoppers and mangler squigs, recruitment rank upkeep for squig units. I think the biggest winners of this patch are probably the squigs. Like, they're really trying to push that kind of playstyle available. Black Orc Big Bosses stay as they are. Orc Shamans, pretty sure they got, so they shared this kind of skill line with the Savage Orc Great Shamans over there. In terms of other things, we got the Giant River Troll Hag. I don't think there's anything really all that much change, so still no special skill line over here for Giant River Troll Hags. With regards to Goblin Big Boss, same thing, no extra skill line, no changes over there. A bit of disappointment, I'm not gonna lie, with regards to it. In terms of other lore changes, the Orc Boar Boss got the Back on Your Feet skill line, which I'm pretty sure it shares that with, the Black Orc Big Boss, or some of it, right? Or some things. I think they actually took some things from. Yeah, I'm wrong about Black Orc Big Boss not getting changes. They did get some changes. Arm to the Teeth, missile resistance. Pretty sure they took some of that and put it to the Orc War Boss. So you get casualty replenishment for Orc units, vigor loss reduction. Get back here and smash them faster. All that has been changed. Recruitment cost and recruit rank, speed, charge bonus, full melee skill line. So yeah, some additions regarding all of that. With respect to, then we gotta talk about the Goblin Great Shaman. We look at the Goblin Great Shaman. He does have these 2 skill lines now. So Wolf Rider benefits spider and spider units, campaign movement range, matter caps, mushrooms, spell benefits. Still keeping Goblin Tide, pretty important. So 10 armor for Goblin units still being kept there. Then we have the Night Goblin War Boss. So looking at the Night Goblin War Boss, I think it's not really all that changed. So it's still kind of freaking useless. Some squig benefits though, melee attack, melee defense for Night Goblins. And Night Goblin units, so it's also showing the tooltip, interesting for squigs. Not sure what's up with that. Maybe CA could explain that one. But yeah, Night Goblin War Bosses, it does feel like they updated some things for Greenskins. They didn't update some other things, like they updated the Orc War Boss, they updated the Night Goblin Great Shaman, they didn't update the Night Goblin War Boss, they did give us the Savage Orc Great Shaman with regards to it. And yeah, Regiments Renown, we do get Recludes Armored Orcs, we do get Goblin Bolt Thrower Regiment Renown, and we do get the Colossal Squig, the Acid Burpa, who leaves some acid in his wake as an ability. I'm special. And that's roughly it with regards to the Greenskins. I think out of the 3 races that were impacted by this patch, there's kind of less changes for the Greenskins, but they also needed the least. Like, if CA had literally changed nothing for the Greenskins and just added Gorbad, you know, we would have liked skill line changes and all that. But again, if they had changed nothing, the Greenskins would still be freaking fine. Ogres and Khorne absolutely needed it. I do think that it would have been great for them to add more skill lines, you know, for Night Goblin, War Boss, Goblin, Big Boss, all that. Would have been great to have those additions. Would have been great not to... Like, don't get me wrong. What's changed is substantial, because you no longer are just massing, like... One of the things I would do, like, if I'm playing a Grimgore campaign, like, I would just mass 3-4 stacks of goblins and nasty skulkers to take Zarnagrun. That's no longer quite as viable as it was before. At least not as quickly as it was before. So, you gotta... And you no longer get, like, tens of thousands of gold pieces and then just spend it all because your structures are so cheap. Structures are more expensive, so you're actually going to have to count the teeth if you're going to make it work. You can still make it work, don't get me wrong on this. Greenskins are still ridiculously strong as a race, I think. Like, certainly my experience has been that they're very, very good to play. And there's also... So, Grimgore didn't need campaign changes. She's kind of nerfed, I agree, but it's like, you can still take Zarnagrun. Azag may suffer a bit, sure, but still pretty strong Legendary Lord. Skarsnik and Warzag, I would say, are probably the big winners, beyond Gorbad. And by the way, if you want to know where Gorbad starts, he starts in next to Iron Rock. Well, not next to Iron Rock. He starts kind of here. So he's basically replaced where Grimgore is. Maybe that was the plan all along, because, like, they probably have plans like, okay, we're going to do these characters if we ever do a DLC for that, and we want to put the... That's probably why they moved Grimgore. Grimgore may be pissed off at Gorbad taking the spotlight over here. I'll talk about Gorbad in a separate video when I'm able to talk about his campaign effects, all that kind of stuff. Can't do so right now. I can't confederate and play him, but if I do manage that in a campaign, I'm allowed to do that, but I'm not allowed to talk about, like, what he has unique in his campaign, how that campaign plays out for today's. It is a change, I think, that people are going to need to adapt. Certainly was not the most pleasant experience starting a Greenskin campaign after I got my hands on the patch, because it's like, where's my recruitment option, CA? Where's my recruitment slots? So yeah, I was a bit miffed on that, not going to lie. But, so I'm sure there will be people who will react like that. I would also stress out, don't fucking overreact on it. Because, like, I saw this overreaction. Like, I saw people bitching and moaning about Age of Reckoning because I played for 1 hour or whatever in Age of Reckoning and they complained about it. Now, I don't mind CA improving the system, but I also would caution people, don't complain just for the sake of complaining. Spend a bit more time, see how it is. Because there were a lot of people like, oh, I only play like half an hour, and that's it. That is not enough time to get a hold of anything. Like, I'll give you an idea. I think I've spent at least a couple dozen hours already in Omens of Destruction. I certainly haven't gotten a handle on everything. So, you know, just give it some time. Once you get used to it, once you understand, like, you get more power. Like, you have more quality armies even if you have fewer of them. That's the trade-off I think they made with the Greenskins. Is that the correct decision? Is that more thematic? I think that's a discussion. To be sure, I personally don't care about the monsters of the Greenskins. I've never cared too much about the monsters, so them trying to make squigs and spiders and all that, I admit, it's just not something I care about with regards to it. But I'll leave it there for the moment. Costin signing out, and stay tuned for more. Gonna do videos on the changes to Legendary Lords, gonna do videos on starting positions, and, you know, defeat traits for all the new Legendary Lords as well. Stay tuned for that.